Dear students, there is some connectivity problem with the counselor. Therefore, we are taking a little more time. Please wait. Please wait. He's trying to, come onto the platform, online platform. Very shortly, we'll be starting our presentation. Yes, Dr. Sao, now you are visible.
Sir.
Namaskar. How are you?
ओके सर आपण तो देजन एनगेजमेंट देह भल भला कोरोना समय समय मिलला पाठ पाठ पढ़े
it is good. It is good for the students. It is good for us also, because we are not able to reach out to so many learners at a time. If you go to a study center, maximum you can find 50 students, but now we are able to see
even
150
out of 50 only 10 to 15 are coming.
But in this platform we are able to see 150 170 like that. So it is good for you, good for me, good for the students. Last 2 days, my picture was not visible because my laptop was out of order. But now everything is all right. So I am visible now.
Okay. Sir, you are quite visible.
Okay.
Clear.
So let us wait for another 2-3 minutes, because 81 students have been so far.
सर आउ किए नौचंती कि क्लास हमर इग्नोरे हमर विभिन्न स्टडी सेंटर आउ किए नौचंती कि
आपनको सेंटर रो बतन आउ दिया हेनी एबे खाली आपनकर ए जो BES-121 स्टार्ट हला एते डॉक्टर परशुराम राय सिंह आउ आपण course 2 will be taken up. Course 2 will be taken up by Dr. BC Mishra and Srikant Parikray. And course 3 will be taken up by MK Pradhan, Manoj Kumar Pradhan and Joyshri Nanda. Who will be taken up by KM Mishra and Gangadhar Das. And course 5 will be taken up by Gangadhar Das again and PP Behra of RNIAC. Then sir, we will switch over to the teaching subject. Those the content-based methodology, method of teaching. So once the core courses are over, then we will switch over to that. Then internship and other things. So it will go on like this. Let us first complete the core courses.
Then other method aspect.
Exactly. You can take a method paper. There are 5 method papers, so you can take one method paper also.
Other spec.
So good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to all those who have logged in this online classroom. Today we are in the fourth day of our online counseling sessions, and today your BES-121 will be over, and from tomorrow we shall start with BES-122. Dr. Sahu has presented nicely for the last 3 days different contents pertaining to BES-121, and from your participation it was quite clear that you have at least something has gone into your mind from the presentation of Dr. Sahu, because you have also raised so many issues, so many questions. Every session, so we are getting not less than 20 to 25 questions, and all those questions are properly responded by our counselors. So it really shows that how active you are, how interested you are in the online teaching learning classroom. Without spending much time, it is time to hand over the classroom to Dr. H.K. Sahu, who will be presenting the remaining contents of BES-121. Today is the last class. Sir, please try to complete the remaining portion of BES-121, and towards the end we will take up the questions from the students, and all the students are requested to kindly write your name and enrollment number in the chat box, because that will be taken as attendance. And towards the end you can write your question also in the chat box, so that all those questions will be taken up one after another and they will be properly responded. So sir, please take over. Please start your
Okay, okay,
presentation.
sir. Okay, sir. Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to fourth day counseling session. We have already taken three classes, and in these three classes, I have covered two courses, BES-1 and BES-2, and you have also actively participated in this discussion. As sir told that from the number of questions you have asked, that shows how you are active in the session. So in this context, again, I welcome you to my class. This is the last class, and in this class, I will try to cover the last block, that is uh, critical debates in childhood and adolescence. Here in this block, there are 4 units. In other block, as the main issue is childhood and growing up. So in other block, in previous blocks, we have seen that childhood and growing up with different context, in different context. So here, social, say cultural, and different things we have discussed. Now, here in this block, we'll see another important context is also left, that is the media. How the children are developed or grown in media. The influence of media. As you know, nowadays media has strong influence the children's behavior. The whole society, human behavior is influenced by media a lot. If we think, if we see that children lives are dominated by media, so mostly the whole life, the media plays a very important role and changes the attitude, the mind. So we'll see how in different fields media influence children and adolescents. Hmm. So when adults and grown-up individuals are influenced by media, you might have seen how media plays a very influential role in influencing the adult's behavior in various issues, various situations. Um, the people, how they have shown their reaction, which due to the influence of media we have already experienced. So when adults are influenced by media, so what to, it is natural that the children, adolescents will be motivated and influenced by media. Media in different aspects. So through media, the different types of personality are exposed, are telecast, are shown. So in now we have seen that media helps in different ways in socializing the children, in motivating the children in negative way also. There is a bad impact as well as good impact. uh, Now it is we have seen that as our mobile phone, how a little child is quite efficient in handling operating mobile. Sometimes we fail to operate mobile comfortably, but a little child, they are very mobile friendly. Uh, Android phones they are using. Whereas we people fail to go into detail this mobile, Android particularly. Similarly, our laptop and other networking website like this. But children now, so from primary stage, the children are very well. They are handling computers and other social networking, Facebook like this. So when it is seen, mark that TV and other media has influenced the students' behavior. So why you should not take TV as an influencer or a medium by which we can teach them, by which we can socialize them. So now we'll see how the students get are benefited from TV. Mobile बहुत पिला आजिकल से गेम फेम शिखुंती बहुत स्कोप अच्छी से एजुकेशन जिन जानापी दे कैन एनरिच देयर नॉलेज सो एवरी नॉलेज इज एट द टिप ऑफ द फिंगर प्रिंट्स खाली आंगुलटे छुईदेले विभिन्न तथ्य आसीगला पिला गेम खेली पारछंती विभिन्न कथा द ग्लोबल इंफॉर्मेशन आंगुली मुनरे सब रही जाउछ खाली just a little, just a खाली गुटे टच रे everything is coming to our screen. So social picture is also coming to the students. Kete strongly how the students are influenced by TV. आगुरी जो एबे से मझे जो व्हेल गेम ब्लू व्हेल गेम आसला पिला टीवी देखिक निज हाथ काटिदेले. So how the TV is so influential, so dominant the child's behavior. So media is considered as an interactive technology, and that is also we call a cultural tool for mediating social interaction. That is a medium or means of social interaction, a cultural tool. We have also discussed how cultural influence in childhood and adolescence. So definitely we cannot deny that culture has a strong. We know our culture, different customs, tradition, our manner, behavior, different things. We are supposed to know our culture, and through media we can know also different culture. We are exposed, our media is exposing different trends, different behavior. We are able to see the view the cultures of different states, the function, the dance, the rituals, how they are organized, different festivals, the important festivals. So sitting in a room, we are able to see all these pictures through media. So media, that is why is considered as a cultural tool for mediating social interaction. In this case, social cultural theory of Vygotsky seems to be quite relevant to this contemporary communication system. So here in this context, the socio-cultural theory of Vygotsky seems to be quite relevant. And here in this context, that is also mentioned that two tenets of socio-cultural theory which influence this media influence. One is two tenets of socio-cultural theory. One is dominant activity, and another is the zone of proximal development. It is deeply with children's life in the digital age. So what are these two tenets and their influence on students' socio-cultural aspect? First is the dominant activity. The dominant activities are pervasive among children with a particular culture. It is the digital age, engagement with media and interactive television should be considered as dominant activities for them. So, no doubt, for children, media is a dominant is a considered a dominant activities for children. The dominating children, maybe say positive or negative, accept, they are influencing positively or say negatively, they are influencing children. So in children's life, now particularly in this technology era, scientific era, mostly they are dominating the entire life of the children from childhood till throughout the life. Hence, it is considered that media as a dominant activity which affect children as well as shape the larger cultural landscape. The whole, the entire cultural landscape are influenced by media. So, in this context, this is considered as a dominant activity. And another aspect, that is zone of proximal development, JPD, that provides an explanation for how the children learns with the help of others. That has been recommended by Vygotsky. Vygotsky also said that learning without support and learning with support. Learning, that means his actual developmental level without support, and his or her potential level of development under the guidance of more expert adults. If again we put a glance towards sociocultural theory of Vygotsky, that learning takes place in sociocultural settings. So in the sociocultural settings, the child learns through interaction of other students, and he learns only through interaction. So another aspect is, we'll see that what is his capability, actual development. Basing on interaction, he learns himself without guidance, without the interference of adult members or teacher. Another thing is, we'll see with support or with guidance of an adult, what improvement can take place in him, what more he can learn. Suppose that is difficult thing, difficult concept, which was not acquired by him without support. Then it was seen that with the help of proper guidance, direct guidance of an expert or a teacher, he is able to understand this concept. So this is his potential. That means he has potentiality. He is able to do this with the support of another expert. So similarly, TV will accept TV like this. That through TV, he is exposed to different views, different events, uh, different episodes, which greatly influence him and learns many things. So in this context, TV media, that is considered a zone of proximal development, JPD. These two tenets which influence children. Now we'll see again. आमे बहुत कथा आजिकल बहुत सिस्टम अच्छी ऑनलाइन आमे घरे बसिकी शिखि पारछु ए जो मीडिया में ऑनलाइन क्लास में अडॉप्ट दिस मोड केते सुविधा होची एबे जो पेंडेमिक सिचुएशन रे क्लास रे गोटे जगह असेंबल है पाठ पढ़ा वेरी नॉट a good appropriate technique process. In order to avoid this, I am sitting in my room and quite visible to others and audible to others, audible my speech. ତେଣୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଅନଲାଇନ୍ ଅଛି, ଅନଲାଇନରେ ବହୁତ କଥା ଜାଣି ହେଉଛି. ନାଉ ୱିଲ୍ ସି ହ୍ୱାଟ ଡୁ ଚିଲଡ୍ରେନ୍ ଡୁ ଅନଲାଇନ୍. ପିଲାମାନେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଜିନିଷ ଅନଲାଇନରେ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି. ଦେ ପ୍ଲେ ଗେମ୍ସ ଅନ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ୍, ୟୁଜ୍ ଫେସବୁକ୍, ୟୁଟ୍ୟୁବ, ଗୁଗଲ, just in a heartbeat. So देखिबा ଆମେ how can media benefit children. There are various ways in which media benefit children. Most of you know how media help children and how online benefit them. There are various computer games, education labs which make learning of literacy skills interesting and funny. बहुत गुड़ा केतटा सब एजुकेशनल ऐप अच्छी आज हेलानी जे गेम जानिया पाई गेम खेलया पाई ये पर्टिकुलर ए ऐप अच्छी ऐसे मीटिंग पाई ए ऐप अच्छी. सो देयर आर डिफरेंट ऐप्स अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन. प्ले स्टोर अच्छी. प्ले स्टोर जाई क्लिक कले बहुत ऐप आसी होची. से ऐप को यूज करी हमें ऑनलाइन पसी परछु. गूगल ऑपरेट करि परछु. एवं पिला माने बहुत सुंदर भाव रे एबी तो हाई स्कूल प्राइमरी पिला मानू को मध्य ऑनलाइन क्लास आरंभ हो गलानी. हाई स्कूल मध्य दे आर टेकिंग बेनिफिट आउट ऑफ दिस फैसिलिटी. तो से माने लेजर टाइम रे एड सेडे न जाई कि जे खराब संगर न मिसी से माने निजे घरे बसी गेम खेली परिबे. विभिन्न एजुकेशनल ऐप डाउनलोड करी दे कैन एनरिच देयर नॉलेज. धरा जाऊ जीके जानिया पाई, जनरल नॉलेज जानिया पाई. तो बहुत क्वेश्चन अच्छी क्लिक कले सीरीज ऑफ क्वेश्चन आसी होची. पिला हेइ थ्रू देखि आंसर देखि ही कैन एनरिच देयर जनरल नॉलेज. आ विभिन्न बही मध्य जीके बुक किनिबा आवश्यकता नाही. तेणु ए चाइल्ड तेणु जदि प्रथम रु इनिशियल लीडर जानि प्रथम जने पढ़िया चाहूची से he can be literate by this computer. से स्पेसिफिक ऐप डाउनलोड करी से धरा जाऊ जने चाहूची he wants to develop their language skill. किमती स्पीकिंग हैबिट, रीडिंग हैबिट, राइटिंग स्किलिंग भी डेवलप करियो. आओ टू एनरिच हिज क्रिएटिव राइटिंग स्किल. तो सब थरे चाहिए जानी परिबे एवं he can enrich his knowledge in their respective field as per their choice and interest. Similarly, children seem to enjoy getting familiarized with various shapes and sizes, counting, addition, subtraction, mathematics, numeracy skill. So, literacy skill, numeracy skill, social skills are acquired by the learners. So, children are quite familiarized with काउंटिंग. पिला माने छोटो पिला माने कॉग्निटिव हमर जो एबिलिटी की कॉग्निटिव साइड डेवलपमेंट पाई विभिन्न प्रकार गेम खेलिबे. तापरे काउंटिंग, एडिशन, सब्ट्रैक्शन मध्य माने जानि पारि ऑनलाइन ले से ऐप रो. सो दे कैन डेवलप देयर न्यूमरसी स्किल. Similarly, children also develop helping behavior in terms of cooperation, coordination, sharing, giving way, taking lead. Then these are the examples of social skills. Then social skills से माने जानि परिबे विभिन्न एपिसोड देखि कि सीरियल आजकल विभिन्न सीरियल ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଏପିସୋଡ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ ବହୁତ ବାହାରିଲାଣି ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଫନ୍ ଗେମ୍ ଲାଇକ୍ ଦିସ୍। ସେମାନେ ସିମିଲାରଲି पर्टिकुलर भैल्यू सोशल स्किल डेभलप करने से रिलेटेड जहाँ तो मारदेले आसीज तेणु सोशल स्किल डेभलप करने पर्टिकुलरली कोऑपरेशन जानापी कोऑर्डिनेशन यही सब शेयरिंग जानापी कौन कौन स्टोरी अच्छी सो सोशल स्किल स्पेसिफिक स्टोरीज आर सो अवेलेबल से मारदेले आम सपोज स्टोरी रिलेटिंग टू कोऑपरेशन आज आम टीचर हिसाब से जाना जे पिला कहवा समथिंग कोऑपरेशन आम सोशल स्किल डेभलप करिया बाय टेलिंग स्टोरी तेणु आम से रिलेट करिकी वी कैन एंटर इनटू गूगल एवं स्टोरी रिलेटिंग कोऑपरेशन कोऑर्डिनेशन शेयरिंग लव अफेक्शन आम मारे आसीज एंड वी कैन टेल स्टोरी ऑन दिस एंड डेभलप moral values among the students. And the older children also get benefited in different ways. They learn develop critical thinking and problem. Older children, adult children, those have crossed 18 years age. So when in after adolescent stage, after passing adolescent stage, still so they will try to apply their experience again from previous stage in adulthood. So they will try to solve their problems ability. Problem समाधान करिए social problem, how to solve social problem through various app games meant for the ages. Age specific games also are available online रे अछि से जो क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग माने अप्लाई करिकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एबिलिटी माने केमती विभिन्न प्रकार गेम अच्छी पर्टिकुलरली फॉर एडल्ट्स they can see this game, they can use this game and get amusement. Then family values, adult the old members, old children, they also learn family values. They learn to adapt gradually and adjust themselves in their wants by observing other people's needs and interests. This happens through various social games, quizzes, which are available in terms of education lab. So education lab रे एभली भाव रे family value मध्य develop करियबो समान जानि परिबे. They can imbibe with family values through specific app. And there are some app also which seem to develop creative thinking. So adult माने how they will be creative. If some older people have good interest on drawing, painting, modeling, graphics, designing. So as per their wish, as per their interest, they can download those apps and know about their respective field and enhance their knowledge. Art रे drawing रे they can also किभଳି भाବରେ drawing करिपारिबे. आर्ट रो बढ़िया स्किल अछि जने भलो आर्टिस्ट जेकोसी गुटे शेप गारमेंट टाउन देले सेटा को नै कि दे विल फॉर्म ए पिक्चर व्हिच इज मीनिंगफुल पिक्चर, मीनिंगफुल ड्राइंग करिपारिबे. So much creative artist they are. So in case of a teacher महोदय जानिया कथा जे क्लासरूम रे पढ़िला बेले a teacher has to be a good artist, भलो गुड पेंटर, भलो भलो न हो टीचर तो गोटे पेंट ड्राइंग टे करि परिबे. साइंस पढ़ेला बेले डायग्राम तो करि परिबे. हिस्ट्री पढ़ेला बेले से मध्ये गोटे ग्राफ करि परिबे बा ज्योग्राफी पढ़ेला ग्राफ करि परिबे, मैप तो करि परिबे. तेणु आर्ट विषय निहाती भाव धारणा ड्राइंग रे निहाती भाव से he has to enhance this ability. तेणु जदि if he does not get scope formally, then online he can enhance their skill. So this is my advice to teachers that every teacher has to enhance their ability in different fields. जन शिक्षक हवा सब प्रकार स्किल जाना दरकार कि भल गीत गाइब कि ड्रामाटे कर रोलटे कर रोल प्ले so that the classroom can be interesting and the students will enjoy your class. क्लास टा आनंददायक हवा दरकार जी क्लास टा भल इंटरेस्ट कर पारा से टीचर को तार पिला भल मन रखिए आनंददायक सरल शिक्षण धन्य से ही गुरु छात्र मान जे तेणु जी भल भाव पढ़ी पार जयफुल लर्निंग आजिकल आम गुरुत्व दौचु तेणु जी भल पढ़ी पार इंटरेस्ट हम ताकू पिला माने माने बेसी रखिए टीचिंग मनरे सबुदिन रही फॉर ऑल टाइम्स टू कम तेणु जोटा बेसी मोटिवेटिंग इंस्पायरिंग इंटरेस्टिंग दैट विल हैव गुड इंपैक्ट ऑन द चाइल्ड पिला माने बेसी इमिटेट करि पारियो सेठी जोटा तांको मन को छोइला इमिटेशन इज मोर ये तो पिलानो कथा किंतु सिमिलरली एडल्ट माने जाहो दे कैन एनहांस देयर नॉलेज in different fields. Then adolescents, they also get benefit out of this online. They learn to develop social skills, online etiquette in dealing with people organization. They get across to various information related to their future careers. तेणु जने फ्यूचर करियर डेभलप करिया चाहूची को करियर रे से आजिकली गाइडेंस दबा बाप मां को पक्ष भारी डिफिकल्ट सो पेरेंट्स विथ लिटिल नॉलेज parents आजिकली they do not think themselves efficient in guiding their own children अरे आजिकली एते सब स्कोप हलानी तेणु अल्टीमेटली he has to take the help of online तेणु ऑनलाइन ले जिबे धर से गोटे पिला इंजीनियर होगा चाहूची बा से तार चाहूची करियर करिया पई गोटे ड्रामा तार भल अच्छी एबिलिटी भल पोएट हो पारे गीत लिखि पारे भल आर्टिस्ट हो पारे भल पेंटर हो पारे तेणु से लाइन व्हाट इज द स्कोप ऑनलाइन जाइए से जापर ता माने नुह जे समस्त जनरल लाइन जी समस्त भल समस्त टीचर हेबे बा डॉक्टर इंजीनियर हेबे तेणु आजिकल विभिन्न प्रकार स्कोप रहुची बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटी रहुची बहुत देयर आर नंबर ऑफ ऑप्शंस बिफोर द चिल्ड्रेन एडोलेसेंट्स एवं बेले बेले असुविधा हुए एडोलेसेंट दोज आर गिफ्टेड स्टूडेंट पाई मत साहय करे भल कारण क्लास शीघ्र सारी दिखते एवं मीनिंगफुली हाउ लीजर टाइम और द एक्स्ट्रा टाइम दे कैन स्पेंड तेणु एजुकेटिव वैल्यू एजुकेशन आप से डाउनलोड कर देखिपारे एनिवे जहाँ हूँ धर गोटे पिला चाहूँगी आईएएस प्रिपेयर हम तेणु से तार कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन प्रिपेयर हम किमिति क्वेश्चन विभिन्न प्रकार आईएएस क्वेश्चन देखिकी अकॉर्डिंगली ही विल प्रिपेयर हिमसेल्फ एंड बिल्ड अप हिज करियर a student who wants to learn guitar can have also online lecture तेणु म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट जानिया पाई मध्य अच्छी सेठी आप स्वतंत्र डाउनलोड करि परियो के सुंदर भाव से तो गिटार बजाया पाई बा हारमोनियम पियानो से भलिया मध्य की अछि टिपिले विभिन्न स्वर आसी जाउछि केते सुंदर अपॉर्चुनिटी अछि जानिया पाई ऑनलाइन कितने प्रकार साहाय्य करते सिमिलरली दे कैन आल्सो इंप्रूव द जनरल नॉलेज पॉलिटिकल अवेयरनेस व्हिच विल बी इमेंस help to them for competitive exam they also can learn moral behavior by watching serials which emphasize on instilling good values in oneself and the significance of it as well so विभिन्न सीरियल आजिकली केतटा सीरियल अच्छी भारी तार बैड इम्पैक्ट हो ओडिया रे केते सीरियल कर वुमेन मान को बेसी कैरेक्टराइज कर बेसी भिलियन प्राय देखु ओडिया रे केतटा सब सीरियल रहउची सेटा सब वुमेन लेडीज मान बेसी भिलियन तो केतटा तार बैड इम्पैक्ट रहउची एवं आमे देखिया कथा सोशल वैल्यू रे वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट को आखे रखी एभली सीरियल करिया दरकार जो द्वारा कि द वुमेन दे विल फील एफिशिएंट फ्री not so dominant think themselves superior at par with men तेणु से भाया वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट वुमेन को बेस एनकरेज कला भाया से भली शिक्षणीय सीरियल करिया कथा ताकर पार्टिसिपेशन इन सोसाइटी हवा कथा अधिका तो सम सीरियल्स आर मेड बेसिंग ऑन दिस वैल्यू सो सम मोरल वैल्यूज इनकलकेट करिया पई सीरियल से भाव में तैयारी करिया दरकार तेणु से टीवी सीरियल जो माने प्रोड्यूसर्स दे मस्ट सी दिस and next constructing gender stereotype in media press gender stereotype and television program in our society, particularly in the patriarchal society or a male-dominated society we may call. But now it's a lot of changes have taken place in society. The women, they are equally competent with men. They are participating in different programs. How politically they are grown up and they are participating well in different aspects. विभिन्न रिसर्च बाहर कोरोना ये रिसर्च कहले जो माने लेडी प्राइम मिनिस्टर अच्छा एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन भल एवं कोरोना बेसी चेक कर ठीक तेणु आजिकली नो सच जेंडर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन in different aspect equally they are also competent with their counterparts male so the किंतु जहाँ हेले भी even if we are trying to empower them to raise their standards still then they should not forget their basic values, basic Indian values. Should not forget our Indian culture. This is a notion that the working woman is the epitome of modern values, while the housewife embodies Indian values. तेरे आमर एटा जेंडर को स्टेरियोटाइप टेलीविजन रे टेलीकास्ट करछन बा केतडा सीरियल हेउची जे जो माने वर्किंग वुमेन से माने मॉडर्न वैल्यू को एक्सेप्ट एंड जो माने घरे स्किल कोने काम करजंती इंडियन वैल्यूज तेणु मॉडर्नाइजेशन जो माने साधारणतः मॉडर्नाइज घरिया जो माने वर्किंग वुमेन दे आर वर्किंग इन डिफरेंट offices, different profession, they seem to be more modernized. So media has depicted like this. So the next gender roles in advertising. Traditional gender stereotype in advertising. In general, review of adolescents anytime, anywhere reveals that females are shown submissive roles, are very provocative roles wearing different seductive clothing. Females are generally shown as product users rather than as competent authority. So media has brought this picture with regard to female. Female, they are submissive, they are the product users, not that competent authority. Females are shown either doing domestic work or in home environment rather than at work. Overall, there is a clear evidence that portrayal of men and women in advertising are not equal. So media, advertise karuchi, equally they are not giving importance to men and women. Kintu if someone being influenced by media has chosen has decided to be a model or say something, then we may also encourage. That is an example given a boy of 14 years how he was trying to be a model. Marriage model जदि हम से भलो कमाई पारियो तेणु सोसाइटी जानिया रहा भल दरकार स्टेटस पैसा ये करिया दरकार तेणु कौ वे विभिन्न वे अच्छी तेणु से ही adopted or he accepted himself to be a model. Kintu how for our society, our parents will accept this, will approve him. Anyway, when he decided to be a model, fortunately his parents and class teacher coordinated together to make him resign, and they were able to convince him and their parents, patience and understanding. Anyway, lastly they agreed and cooperated him. ତେଣୁ ବାପା ମାଙ୍କର ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆପ୍ରୁଭାଲ ଦରକାର ଏବଂ if someone try to build up his career in a particular field which is good for enhancing their status in society, then that is desirable. So that is the effect of media, TV in this manner. Then depiction of children and adolescents in media. So depiction of children and adolescent in media. The portrayal of adolescent is not fair in media. Many media portray adolescents as emotional, overly dramatic, immature, unable to take rational decisions. We know the specific characteristics of adolescents, and that doesn't mean that adolescents are throughout the stage emotional, immature, unstable, unable to take rational thinking. So dilemma there, they are at dilemma stage, crisis, development of some crisis they are facing. But till then, they can think of rationally. They can control of their emotion. But media depict the children and adolescents in different way. They only show these characteristics as if adolescents are only emotional. Adolescents are emotional, immature, and unable to take rational decision. That happens sometimes. କେମିତି ଏଥିରେ ଉଦାହରଣ ମଧ୍ୟ ଦିଆଯାଇଛି ଯେ ଟିଭିରେ ଇନଫ୍ଲୁଏନ୍ସ ହେଇ ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା କେମିତି ସେ ସବୁବେଳେ ତା ପାଖକୁ କହିଲା ଏକ୍ସପେନ୍ସିଭ ଡ୍ରେସ୍ କିଣିବା ପାଇଁ ବାପା ମାଙ୍କୁ ତାର ବାର୍ଥଡେ ପାର୍ଟିରେ even if his father fails to afford this. ତେଣୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ବେଳେବେଳେ ବିହେଭିୟର ଚେଞ୍ଜେସ୍ ଏଗ୍ରେସିଭ ହେଇଯାନ୍ତି ବେଳେବେଳେ ପିଲା ଟିଭିରେ ଦେଖିକି। ତେଣୁ ଏଇସବୁ ବ୍ୟାଡ୍ ଇନଫ୍ଲୁଏନ୍ସ ଅଛି ମିଡ଼ିଆ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଆଡୋଲେସେନ୍ସ। ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ପ୍ରକାର ଡେପିକ୍ସନ୍ ଟିଭି ଯେଉଁ ଦେଖା ସେଇଟା ଠିକ୍ ନୁହେଁ, ତାକୁ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରିବା ଦରକାର। ତେଣୁ ଆଡୋଲେସେଣ୍ଟଙ୍କ ପ୍ରକୃତ ବିହେଭିୟର ଆଣ୍ଡ ସଲ୍ୟୁସନ୍, ତେଣୁ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ସଲ୍ୟୁସନ୍ ସାଇମଲ୍ଟେନିୟସଲି ଏଭଳି ସିରିଏଲ ମାନେ ତିଆରି କରିବା ଦରକାର। ଇମ୍ପାକ୍ଟ ଅଫ୍ ମିଡ଼ିଆ ଅନ୍ ଚିଲଡ୍ରେନ୍। ସିମିଲାରଲି ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କର ଇନଫ୍ଲୁଏନ୍ସ ଟିଭି ବହୁତ ଇନଫ୍ଲୁଏନ୍ସ କର ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ। କେମିତି ଏଠି ମଧ୍ୟ ଉଦାହରଣ ଦିଆଯାଇଛି, ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା କେମିତି ହାରାସ୍ଡ ହେଉଥିଲା, he was unable to express his feeling, କିନ୍ତୁ ତାପରେ ଟିଭିର ସିରିଏଲ ଦେଖିକି ସେ ଜାଣିପାରିଲା and he decided, he selected this is the appropriate medium appropriate to speak his inner feelings which is unspoken, which could not be expressed, which he could not express, that he would express before his peers. Then ultimately he found out the solution, and he changed his behavior. So in this case, teachers must have to develop third eye of noticing when things go in different way, when the children are diverted in negative way, seems to be delinquent. So in this case, the teacher must watch those category of children and properly guide them in their life. Media and learning about social world. Basically, the example also has been given in your book that how a female likes to be slim. That is the influence of media. ଦେଖିଲେ ସବୁ star celebrities they appear to be very slim. ତେଣୁ accordingly every girl child, say adolescent girls, they try to be slim. But one example is given that mm, a girl who is obese, he wants to be a doctor, she wants to be a doctor, but due to his obesity, um, negative feeling created among in him, and he started crying before his teacher, and he diverted his objectives that he cannot say or she cannot be a doctor due to his obesity. So this is the influence of social world on that particular case of sex in the media. There are various ways in which sex is shown in media through pictures, language, songs, action, provocative dresses like this. So this should be avoided. And the children, little children, adolescents, naturally they are inclined to this. But parents and teachers, they should check this behavior. Violence is also seen in the media. Then obesity and media. The media ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ପିଲା ମିଡ଼ିଆ ଏତେ ଇନଫ୍ଲୁଏନ୍ସ ହେଇଯାନ୍ତି ଯେ ସବୁବେଳେ ମିଡ଼ିଆ ପାଖରେ ଖାଇଥିବେ ବସିବେ, ପାଠ ପଢ଼ିଲା ବସିବେ, ସବୁବେଳେ ମିଡ଼ିଆ ପାଖରେ ବସି ଖାଇବେ, ଫିଜିକାଲ ୱାର୍କ ନାହିଁ, ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ନାହିଁ, ଯଦ୍ୱାରା ସେ ମୋଟା ହେଇଯାନ୍ତି ବହୁତ। ତେଣୁ physically they become lethargic, which leads to their obesity and other related issues are seen in him. ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମେ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ମନା କରିବା କଥା, they should avoid, they should not kill much time or give much time towards the showing TV. Then social performance in the media. Teachers have to develop this skill ଯେ କିଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଆଡଭାନ୍ସ ଇଫେକ୍ଟ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ନ ପଡୁ। ସୋ ଦେ ସୁଡ୍ ସି ଦେନ୍ ସୋସିଆଲ ମିଡିଆ ଆଣ୍ଡ କ୍ରିଏଟିଭିଟି। କ୍ରିଏଟିଭ ହେବା ପାଇଁ ଟେଲିଭିଜନ, ମୁଭିଜ, କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ଗେମ୍ସ ଅଛି, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଭାବରେ ସେମାନେ କ୍ରିଏଟିଭ ହେଇପାରେ। ଆଇ ୱିଲ୍ ଟୋଲ୍ଡ ୟୁ media and peer culture. Peer influence on child is very strong, especially during adolescence. We have also seen and discussed. So adolescent thoughts, behavior, action, attitude, opinions, etc. are all shaped by their peers. ତେଣୁ ପିୟର୍ସ ଇଣ୍ଟରାକ୍ସନ, ପିୟର ମାନେ କଣ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି, ଏବଂ ପିୟର ମାନଙ୍କ ଯୋଗୁଁ ମଧ୍ୟ ବହୁତ ultimately they are also helping in other way. Suppose a boy of 14-year-old boy, he is very conscious of the fact that his father, even if his father is a sweeper, but his ambition is too high and he wants to study abroad, but he doesn't know how to continue his study abroad because his finance of his father will not support him. So in what way he will get financial support? In this case, the peers, they suggested, and media, from media he can also he could know that through bank he can apply, and the bank also finance the educational loan for studying abroad. And ultimately the peer groups, all the peer groups, they could be able to go to other country abroad and pursue his education there. So media peer culture, the positively also affect, negatively also affect. So that depends on the adolescent. If he is if he has positive mindset, then he will grow his career positively in the good way. then media violence in childhood କେମିତି ପିଲାମାନେ କେମିତି ଭାୟୋଲେଣ୍ଟ ହଉଛନ୍ତି, ସାଇବର ବୁଲିଂ ସେଟା ମଧ୍ୟ ପସିବଲ ହଉଛି। ଅନଲାଇନ୍ ଭର୍ସେସ୍ ରିଅଲ ଟାଇମ୍ ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଟି ପିଲାମାନେ ରିଏଲ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ଟାକୁ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇକି ସେମାନେ ଅନଲାଇନ୍ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ଟାକୁ ଦେଖନ୍ତି। So that is a bad impact on children on this. Role of teachers and parents ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଅଛି। ଟିଚର ମାନେ very careful ହବା କଥା। ସେମାନେ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ adult science particularly ବା childhood ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ watch କରିବା କଥା। appropriate climate, good administration ରଖିବା କଥା ସ୍କୁଲରେ so that they will not be wayward. ତାପରେ contemporary issues affecting adolescents. So there are different issues affect adolescent and school children. For example, bullying. So you know that bullying is an aggressive behavior normally characterized by repetition and imbalance of power, which is socially unacceptable within the ethos of democratic society. So aggressive behavior, repeated aggressive behavior that is seen among children. ପିଲାମାନେ ବହୁତ ବେଳେ ଏଗ୍ରେସିଭ ହେଇଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ରିଭେଞ୍ଜଫୁଲ ହେଇଯାଉଛନ୍ତି, ଇମ୍ବାଲାନ୍ସ ହେଇଯାଉଛନ୍ତି, ଯୋଉଟାକି ହଉଛି ନଟ୍ ସୋସିଆଲି ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟେଡ୍ ଏଟ୍ ଦି ଷ୍ଟେଜ୍। ସୋ ତେଣୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଇସ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ହେଉଛି। That is the influence of media. Studies indicate that while the one being bullied may develop a low self-esteem and anxiety, ତେଣୁ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜଣକୁ ବୁଲିଂ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ତେଣୁ ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଅନ୍ୟ ଉପରେ ରାଗୁଛି, he shows aggression, anger, so definitely he is badly affected, influenced. So he develops low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, mistrust of others, suicidal tendency ବେଳେବେଳେ ହେଇଯାଏ। ତେଣୁ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଦେଖାଯାଏ ବେଳେବେଳେ ତା ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା even if he is of good behavior, his behavior is good, କିନ୍ତୁ ଅଲଗା କେତେ ପିଲା ଥାନ୍ତି ତାର କ୍ଲିକ୍ ଗ୍ୟାଙ୍ଗରେ ଥାନ୍ତି, ସେମାନେ ସେ ଭେରି ନର୍ମାଲ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ବୁଲିଂ କରନ୍ତି, ଯାହାଦ୍ୱାରା କି ସେମାନେ ନିଜକୁ ଭାରି ଡିପ୍ରେସନରେ ରୁହନ୍ତି, ତାଙ୍କର ସେଲ୍ଫ ଏଷ୍ଟିମ୍ ଲୋ ହେଇଯାଏ ଏବଂ ସୋସିଆଲ ଟେଣ୍ଡେନ୍ସି ନେଇ ନିଅନ୍ତି ବେଳେବେଳେ। ଏଇଭଳି ବୁଲିଂ that is a very serious issue which is seen among children. It is a very serious problem today. ସେଥିପାଇଁ the specific role teacher ରହିବା ଦରକାର। ପଲିସି ଗୋଟେ ପଲିସି ଆଣିବା କଥା, ସ୍କୁଲରେ ଯଦି ଅଛି ତାହେଲେ ସେଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଗୋଟେ କମିଟି କରିବା କଥା, ପିଲା ସେଇ କେତେଟା ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଫାଇ କରିବା କଥା, ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ କନଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ୱାଚରେ ରଖିବା କଥା, ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ କିପରି ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେବେ, ଯୋଉମାନେ ବୁଲିଂ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ କେମିତି ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେବେ। So after steps, motivation will be given to them so that their behavior can be modified. ତାଙ୍କ ପ୍ୟାରେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ କହିବା ଦରକାର, ପ୍ୟାରେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଡାକିବା କଥା, ସ୍କୁଲକୁ ମିଟିଂ କରିବା କଥା। ବେଳେବେଳେ ସମଥିଙ୍ଗ happens without the knowledge of the parents, ତାଙ୍କ ବାପା ମା ଜାଣିପାରନ୍ତିନି। So so here the teacher inform their parents about that kid's behavior, so they should invite it to the school, discussion, very congenial manner, discussion. For discussion, this problem solution may come out, and ultimately you can give the teacher can give solution. Then substance use and abuse, alcohol, छोटे छोटे पिला माने, it is the adolescent पिला माने, they are addicted to alcohol. So why are these substances, how these are so dangerous? କେମିତି affect କରୁଛି ପିଲାମାନେ ଛୋଟ 12-13 ବର୍ଷ ପିଲାମାନେ ସେମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଗଞ୍ଜେଇ ଚରସ ଡ୍ରଗ୍ସ ନେଉଛନ୍ତି. So this is the influence of media ବା ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଇଏରୁ ସେମାନେ ଶିଖୁଛନ୍ତି. Similarly, we should see what is the role of this the teacher to check this case, this issue. ସେଥିପାଇଁ ତାର ଟିଚରକୁ ଜଣେଇବା କଥା, କୌଣସି ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଟିଚର ବା ପ୍ୟାରେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଜଣେଇବା କଥା, କାଉନସେଲର ନିଯୁକ୍ତ କରିବା କଥା ଇନ୍ ସ୍କୁଲ, ଯଦ୍ୱାରା କି ସେମାନେ their energy they will be used in proper way. Similarly, another issue, teenage pregnancy. Basically, rapid physical growth development leading to sexual maturation early ହେଇଯାଉଛି. ଆମର diet ର ଭାରି ବହୁତ ପ୍ରଭାବ ପଡୁଛି due to their early rapid growth. ତେଣୁ teenage pregnancy ମଧ୍ୟ ହେଉଛି due to different reasons. ତେଣୁ school going girl, ସେମାନେ ବେଳେବେଳେ ଏଇ ସମସ୍ୟାର ଶିକାର ହେଉଛନ୍ତି. ତେଣୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଦେଖିବା କଥା ଠିକ ଭାବରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଟିନେଜ ଯେଭଳି ଭାବରେ ସେମାନେ the way they will not be diverted towards this. ତେଣୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ we must see this. And sexually transmitted infection, STIs, ତେଣୁ unprotected sex and sex with multiple partners can lead to the spread of number of sexually transmitted diseases. ତେଣୁ AIDS awareness program ଆମେ ମଧ୍ୟ AIDS day କରାଯାଉଛୁ. The school takes must step in this aspect, creating awareness among the learners to rallies were conducted. So school takes much care and propagation in this aspect so that we can check this issue. Depression and suicide. Depression, in some ways it is seen, as we know, depression is linked to many factors like problems in family, academic problems, dissatisfaction with own body image, bullying, you discussed previous before, bullying including cyberbullying, substance use and abuse, financial problems and the like. So a sub factor, due to these factors, depression is seen among the adolescents. Then suicide tendency देखा जाए. Academic due to this various problem, family problem, father आमे जानी चुके family रे किभଳି भाବରେ good relationship रहिया कथा, love and affection ठीक रहिया कथा. Yesterday we discussed what are the different types of family and family child relationship, attachment view रे, attachment perspective रे we discussed. The family relation बनवा कथा, there must be good relation between father and mother, love and affection रहिया कथा. जे नहला पिला मानंग हेटा मध्य डिप्रेशन हम जेता सब आपण होइरे one misunderstanding, quarreling each other, बाप मा अलगा रहिते पिला सेपरेट अलगा थिबो. तेणु फैमिली रोल बहुत रोचे एथरे डिप्रेशन रे, एकेडमिक प्रॉब्लम जे देखा गला गोटे पिला जे फेल होउची बारंबार. तेणु हेटा मध्य बा गोटे ठीक भाବରେ कहि पारुनी, लिंग्विस्टिक एक्सप्रेशन ठीक नाही, स्टेमरिंग. तेणु ये सब प्रॉब्लम रोचे तेणु से पिला डिप्रेस्ड फील करे बॉडी निजर बॉडी इमेज तार बुलिंग आम जहाँ कहलु यूज ऑफ सब्सटेंस अल्कोहल टेंडेंसी फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम so due to these factors children naturally suffer under depression. Then rule of school, a child may be also consider ତେଣୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମେ ସ୍କୁଲ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ସବୁ ଷ୍ଟେପ୍ ନେବା କଥା ତେଣୁ ଯେଉଁ ପିଲା is depressed, if those children who are feeling depressed, so different examples of other brighter children ताकू कहा जाय परियो their achievement so that they will be impressed motivated किभଳି ସେମାନେ से पिला प्रथम के डिप्रेशन थिले तापर हाउ securing guidance how he improve his career तेणु विभिन्न प्रोग्राम टीवी माध्यम से केमिति we can say modify their behavior so that they will come out of the depression. Practice that provide encouragement involve children in task may be part of the school activity. विभिन्न प्रकार task दवा कथा parents मान को से भाव में मध्य करिया कथा. Sometimes it is seen that parents become more ambitious. They expect more from students, from their children, but the children fail to satisfy their ambition, fulfill the ambitions of father. Then से क्षेत्र में देखा जाए पिलान सुसाइड मध्य कर दियंती. तेणु से ambitious parents माने बेसी हवा कथा नुह. They must see the abilities of the students, how far our students are capable, what ability, what are the strengths and weaknesses. Parents जानिया कथा accordingly से तार आम ambitious हवा कथा. तेणु without exploring a child, without knowing his strengths and weaknesses, being ambitious, then similarly delinquency. Adolescent stage there is every possibility that some students may become delinquent. Hello. So some students are seen as delinquent children. So juvenile delinquency refers to crimes. Juvenile delinquent children when they are involved in criminal activities. But juvenile delinquency, the children below 18 years age, when they are involved the criminal activities, the different misdeeds, social evil deeds, then they are known as juvenile delinquent children. So the juvenile delinquency refers to crimes committed by minors, and historically juvenile justice system focused on rehabilitation and treatment than punishment. So if they are involved in these criminal activities, so different punishment is there. Legally they will be punished. So those who are delinquent children, they are involved in theft, pickpocketing, physical assaults, vandalizing property. So different serious offense they are involved. So peers hence remaining in group, they form a group, delinquent children group. They do some antisocial work. They are addicted to alcohol. So that children, there are possibilities that our family influence the children to be delinquent. ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଦେଖାଯାଏ circumstances to suppose a parental alcoholism, conflict in family, poverty, broken family, abusive condition, orphans, loss of parents, घर परिवार नहीं तेणु बेसिक नेसेसिटी जो मैंने फेल टू फुलफिल यही केस साधारणतः पिला डेलिक्वेंट हमारा बहुत चांसेस अच्छी. देन कंपल्सिव इंटरनेट यूज, इंटरनेट मध्य स्मार्टफोन इंटरनेट बहुत समय से नियंती ସେଥିରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ବହୁତ ନେଗେଟିଭ ଇନଫ୍ଲୁଏନ୍ସ ସେମାନେ ଶିଖୁଛନ୍ତି। ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ସାଇଟ୍ ଅଛି, ସେମାନେ ଦେଖିକି ଦେ ବିକମ୍ ଡେଲିକ୍ୱେଣ୍ଟ। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଟିଚର ମାନେ ଦେଖିବା କଥା, ତାଙ୍କର ଗୁଡ୍ ହବିଜ ଡେଭଲପ କରିବା କଥା। ତାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଏନକରେଜ ଦ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ଟୁ ଏନଗେଜ ଇନ୍ ସ୍ପୋର୍ଟସ୍, ଗେମ୍ସ and activities requiring physical activities, discussing the impact of prolonged use of internet and visiting harmful sites. ପିଲାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବା କଥା, ଯେ ଆଡଭାଇସ୍ ଦେବା କଥା ସେମାନେ ବହୁତ ସମୟ ସେମାନେ ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ୍ ୟୁଜ୍ କରିବା କଥା ନୁହଁ ଏବଂ ହାର୍ମଫୁଲ ସାଇଟ୍କୁ ସେମାନେ ଯିବା କଥା ନୁହଁ, which adversely affect their behavior and mind. So these are the different contemporary issues. Next, we'll switch over to life skills education for adolescents. This is an important chapter, and as a teacher, we should know what are the different life skills education. So there are some skills which are quite important to be an effective member, effective member in a society. Those who can properly handle different skills for leading a good life. That is life skill. So what are the different life skills, core life skills? And as a teacher, we should know what are the different life skills and how our students or adolescents, they understand the life skills and use it in their life, and they can maintain a good future. So life skills are skills, strengths, and capabilities that help you to face problems of everyday life with a positive attitude and handle issues effectively. So that strengthens the capabilities of the students or children to face the problems of life effectively. So effective member of who is effective member of the society? Those who can handle different issues effectively, very smoothly. Those who can use or solve their own problem. So hence to know to solve the different problems of life, first thing is we have to see our strength, our capabilities, our weaknesses. Then accordingly, we should accept the challenges. So life skill helps the individual to know the strength and capabilities basing on which he can solve the different problems of everyday life, and positive attitude he can develop and handle issues effectively. Positive attitude. Everywhere now this is an important aspect, the developing positive aspect, positive attitude, positive, everyone to be positive minded. सब କଥା positive ଭାଇବା ଦରକାର। ତେଣୁ positive attitude, positive mind ହେଲେ we can solve many problems. We can think the world positive, we can take others positively, our social relation will be good. So positive mindset ରହିବା କଥା. If I accept someone negatively, if I interpret the behavior negatively, then that will give me stress. मते ଯନ୍ତ୍ରଣା ଦବ, ମୁଁ ତା ଅଲଗା ପ୍ରକାର ଯଦି ପଜିଟିଭ ଭାବିବି ନା ସେ ଠିକ ସେ କହିଲା, so we should interpret his behavior, everyone's behavior, even if my behavior, କାହିଁକି ସେ କହିଲା, we have to interpret it. Anger, he wants, if someone is aggressive and showed his anger abruptly, then ରାଗିଗଲା, emotional outburst if he shows, then we have to Be positive means we have to analyze what situation prompted him to be aggressive. So we have to see, then find out the solution. Accordingly, we can change our behavior and we will accept him. So life skill, the different life skill is quite important, basing on which we can, or applying which we can be positively minded and handle different issues effectively and maintain a good life and or in throughout the lifespan. So in this case, we'll see what are the life skill called, what are the different life skill achi. So, some core life skills. World Health Organization has identified some core life skill. They are self-esteem, self-awareness, assertiveness, coping with stress, coping with emotions, effective communication, interpersonal relationship, empathy, conflict management, critical thinking, creative thinking, decision making, and problem solving. So these core life skills are categorized under 3 heads. So these are the core life skills as identified by World Health Organization. And these core life skills are categorized under 3 heads. These are namely life skills for self-understanding and self-management. ନିଜକୁ ମ୍ୟାନେଜ କରିବା, ନିଜକୁ understanding his own self. Who am I? ନିଜ ମୁଁ କିଏ ଆଗେ ନିଜକୁ ଦେଖିବା କଥା. I am to know himself means I know I am aware of my strength and weakness. ମୋର କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ଭୁଲ ରହିଛି, deficient କ'ଣ ଅଛି, in which aspect I am efficiency. ସେତିକି ଜାଣିଲେ ବହୁତ କଥା. Then second, life skills that help to live with others. And third category, life skills that help you handle various issues and problems that you face in your day-to-day life. Anyway, all these life skills are crucial to students. So student must know all these life skills and how education helps in this regard to manage manage the children with these life skills. So in this context, first, the life skills for self-understanding and self-management. So there are some life skills are जो जतिक रहिला core life skills, out of this core life skills, some life skills are coming under this self-understanding and self-management. So some life skills are related to self and helps management of our own self. That is self-esteem. What is self-esteem? That refers to state of mind of an individual arrived at as a result of accurate and objective assessment of his or her abilities, affiliation and influences. So objective and accurate assessment of his or her abilities. So that is very important aspect, important life skill. First of all, this is core, and every individual, every adolescent, children କଥା ଜାଣିପାରିବେନି, adolescent must know his or properly assess his own abilities, his own strength. ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ବହୁତ ଆମେ individual difference ରେ ଜାଣିଛୁ ଯେ when a child is born, he is born with many disposition, ବହୁତ सब disposition ବା abilities ସମସ୍ତ ପାଖରେ ଥାଏ, ସବୁ trait ଥାଏ, କିନ୍ତୁ all the disposition must be properly used. So ଏବଂ more or less ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଗୁଣ ସମସ୍ତ ପାଖରେ ଥାଏ. You may take any trait, say personality trait, say honesty हो, sincerity हो, punctuality हो, sociability हो, intelligence, achievement, morality, जहाँ जहाँ देखो ମୋ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଅଛି, but the variation in degree. Degree रे variation होଉଛି, କାହା ପାଖରେ ବେଶୀ, moderate, low ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଅଛି. तो ସେ ପିଲା ଦେଖିବା କଥା in what aspect I am efficient. I am efficient. Suppose he identifies himself that I am good in drawing, mathematics, science, painting, music. If he is able to identify himself, then he will be positive minded. He can know himself, and accordingly his behavior will be, he will exhibit his own behavior. So that means the way our self-esteem, the way we think, feel, and depends largely on our self. ଆମେ ଯେଭଳି ଭାବରେ our feeling, our thinking depends on our self-esteem. ଆମର self-esteem ଯାହା, ମୁଁ ଯାହା ଭାବେ, ମୁଁ ଯାହା ମୋର self-esteem ଯାହା accordingly ମୋର ଚିନ୍ତା ମଧ୍ୟ ସେହା ହେବ। ମୁଁ ଯଦି ସେ introverted ବା ଯଦି ମୁଁ submissive, ତେଣୁ ମୁଁ express କରିପାରିବି ନାହିଁ ବେଶୀ। If I am introverted, ମୁଁ express କରିପାରିବି ନାହିଁ। If I am extroverted, ମୁଁ outspoken, language ability ମୋର ଭଲ। ତେଣୁ ମୋର ଚିନ୍ତାଧାରା, ମୋର feeling, self-esteem ଉପରେ, that depends on self-esteem. ତେଣୁ self-esteem ର downward trend ରହୁଛି, ଯାଦ୍ୱାରା କି ପିଲା reactive ହେଇଯାଉଛି, lonely, moody, easily hurt, confidence ରହୁନି। ତ ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କର good self-esteem, positive minded ସେମାନେ ଅଛି, ସେମାନେ confident feel କରନ୍ତି, they are quite assertive. ତ self-esteem ସେଥିପାଇଁ is important। ସେମାନେ ପ୍ରଥମ ନିଜକୁ ଜାଣିବା କଥା। Accurate, they must have accurate observation, accurate assessment of his own ability. Then self-awareness. Self-awareness is knowledge about yourself, knowledge about beliefs and values.
Dr. Sahu, your picture has been freezed. There is some problem in your video. Your picture has been freezed.
Picture freeze.
Your voice is audible. Your voice is audible, clearly audible.
Picture is not clear.
The picture is freezed. Freeze ହେଇଯାଇଛି picture ଟା। Yes, it is clear now.
Is it clear, sir?
Yes, it is clear now. You can go ahead.
Okay. So next life skill, that is self-awareness. Self-awareness, here we may refer that knowledge about yourself. So my knowledge about my beliefs, values, behavior, attitude. So I must be aware of my belief. I must know what is my social values, what are the social values, what is my belief, how I believe, and my attitude. So these things we must aware. I must be aware of these values. Similarly, I must be also aware of my emotion and how can I control my emotion. So learning more about yourself and the effects of behavior has on others. So self-awareness means how far we know ourselves, how far I know myself, I know me, how far I know about myself. So that is not possible always, that to know himself, what type of personality I am, whether I am introverted or extroverted, whether I am accepted by others or not. So what is my group behavior, what is attitude. So about my can be observed by others. So if I want to know myself, then I must seek some feedback from others. But what is the opinion of others about myself? I have to know this. So for this, I have to seek feedback from others. I will ask what are my defects. So how did they react him? So why did they react in this situation? So what was my fault? Then only self-aware individual, those with self-awareness, they must pay respect to the feedback of others, and accordingly he can modify his behavior. So we must seek advice, or we must seek feedback from others about my behavior, my attitude, then whether I could control over my emotion or not. Emotional intelligence, or to be sociable, very first requirement is to control of over emotion. Easily we should not be irritated. Some personality of individual, that easily some individuals are irritated. So that is not good behavior. That is not accepted by the members of the other members. So if I am easily irritated, then how I can control my emotion? So for this, what precautions I can take so that I can modify my behavior and I control over my emotion. Then assertiveness. Assertiveness is not aggression. It means knowing our rights well and standing up for them while remaining conscious about the rights of others. So, putting our rights demands, if we are legally right, so we should be assertive. So, if I am aware of my rights, I have to put forth my demands, put forth my rights. So, individual has to be assertive in nature. If somebody is so for this, he has to be positive minded, and he must stand up with this. So if someone is right in his approach, in his legal, he is aware of legal implication, what is his rights, so he can communicate clearly and unambiguously. So this awareness makes someone assertive. So that is also a good life skill, that while putting his own rights and demands, he has to be assertive. Come on, he has to express his feelings, his rights in demanding way, in commanding voice. So how to be assertive? That is to be learned. The teacher will also speak in this way. Will also speak that by this way you can be assertive. Then coping with stress. This is an important life skill. Nowadays, everybody is facing the situation. Everybody is stressful in stress situation, because our society, our life style has been such that everybody is in stress situation. You cannot find an individual who can freely express, who is happy without stress. So in every situation in family, father, mothers are there in stress. Children are also in stress. Academic, they have academic stress. The teachers, those who are on job, they are also stress, job stress they are facing. They are feeling the quite stress in job in their respective field. Similarly, in every field, every individual is stressful. It's in stress situation. So how to coping with stress? Stress. adjustment. So we cannot totally change or avoid the stress. So in this situation, how can you minimize the stress and adjust with our stress? So stress generally refers to the reaction that people show when they encounter excessive pressure. When the tension goes beyond the capacity to cope with lead to stress. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଟେନସନ୍ ଆମର ଗୋଟେ କାମ କରିବାକୁ ହେଲେ ଡେଫିନେଟଲି ଏଙ୍ଗଜାଇଟି ତ ରହିବ, ଟେନସନ୍ ରହିବ, ଟେନସନ୍ ଆସିଲେ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସ୍ ଆସିବ. But when that tension is beyond someone's capacity, our tension ଆସିଲେ ବି with our capacity we solve the problem. Sometimes stress ଏତେ ହୁଏ ଯେ beyond one's capacity to cope which lead to stress. So in this situation, how to be stressless, how to lead a stressless life. So how can we change the stressful life to stressless life? Tension free ଆମେ କେମିତି କରିବା? ତେଣୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ everybody advised that to be positive minded. Positive mind we have to become. So only positive idea, positive thoughts can help you to become stress free. So for this, in order to avoid stress, we have to develop a good sense of humor and strike a balance between study and leisure, so that we can keep stress at a bit to a great extent. So this should be taken into account, and this is also a good skill. Then coping with emotion. Emotions, that is another skill, coping with emotion. Emotions are powerful feelings that are directed at something or someone. So emotions and impulses propel people to action. Emotions can be positive and negative. We have also discussed in this connection, in this regard, that there are some positive emotion, negative emotion, everybody has come across. So there are different emotions. The positive emotions like hope, optimism, love, being positive attitude, love, affection, positive attitude, and these are the positive emotion. Similarly, on the contrary, there are some negative emotion, anger, fear, anxiety, worry. So the negative emotion should not be muted. We have to adjust with this emotion. So emotional management is necessary. Emotional management means, that doesn't mean the total suppression of emotion. I may suppose anger, worry, fear. We should not totally suppress this emotion. Rather, how can we divert our anger to other way? That should be taken into account. Then another group of life skills for knowing and living with others. Another categories of life skill for knowing and living with others. How we live in society, how we can be effective, a sociable individual, sociable adults, and so there are some life skill for this, so that I can live with the other individual of my society. So as I have told you that socialization, first means first way is development of language. linguistic development of communication. So how will we communicate our feelings? So language is the vehicle of communication. So only through language we can reach the other individuals. If I use good language, if my language is appropriate, soothing, then others will appreciate me, accept me. If my language is not so good, not approved by others, then my personality is not good. I cannot touch the heart of others. So communication, communicating message. So language plays a role in the process of communication. Then interpersonal relationship. Interpersonal relationship is yet another life skill that helps us get along smoothly with our peers. Interpersonal relationship. These skills are techniques that help us relate to others. Interpersonal relationship. My relationship with others. How I am accepted by others and how others are accepted by me. So interpersonal relationship is necessary. I have to understand others' emotion, let others understand my emotion. So understanding others, other behavior is necessary for establishing good interpersonal relationship. So for this emotion to be controlled, uh, we have to be positive minded. So like this. Then another thing is empathy. Empathy is another life skill that helps us understand others. While understanding others, we should apply empathy. We should uh, see we should see others thinking in our own eyes. Suppose an individual behaved in a negative way, became very emotional. So I have to analyze his behavior in my own point of view. Understanding others in my own uh, way. I have to think if I am in that situation, then what would have been my behavior. So analysis, we have to analyze his behavior in this way. So empathy is a good life skill technique. Then conflict resolution. When two or more people come together, work together and live together, conflict are bound to occur. ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ଆମେ ଏକରୁ ଅଧିକ ହେଲେ କଳି ହେବା ସମ୍ଭାବନା ଥାଏ। ତେଣୁ ଯୋଉଠି more than one member lives are present, then conflict is obvious. Conflict is natural. ତେଣୁ conflict is seen between teacher, principal, student, teacher, husband and wife, boss, subordinates. So that speaks about the disagreement, opinion, antagonism. So different opinions in a particular, at a point, in some concept, if there are disagreement, then conflict arises. So how to resolve this issue? ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ issue ଉପରେ different opinions come out, which opinion, which suggestion to be taken into account? Whether principal or staff, teachers or student. So conflict must be resolved in a very democratic setup, democratic way. Students' views must be taken. teachers, the principal, teachers view must be taken. So in congenial atmosphere, mutual way, the conflict can be resolved. So there are different steps for resolving the conflict. First step, to know about the conflict, the reasons. Then second step, to understand each other position. Then next step is to define the problem. To arrive a mutually acceptable definition of the problem, need to identify the causes of problem and find out areas of common grounds to arrive at the mutually acceptable definition of the problem. Then fourth step involves generation of all the alternatives that can be used for solving the problem. And out of the different solution, best alternatives must be taken into consideration for resolving this problem. Then fifth is to take action and evaluate its functioning. So how far the solution works, that must be taken, and that is the ultimate solution of this conflict. Next, third, life skills for dealing with issues and problems. Still, there are some another category, the life skills for dealing with issues and problems. Different issues or problems. So how to resolve these issues? One is critical thinking, then creative thinking, decision making, problem solving. So these are the four life skills which deals different issues and problems of our life. So these issues, these life skills help us handle issues and problems that we confront in every day-to-day life. So we must be firstly critical thinking. Critical thinking is a skill that helps us look analytically at events, people, objects, action, and even literary works with a view to gathering information that is relevant and objective, with the help of which we can assess and evaluate them. Critical thinking. Critically, we have to analyze the event. Critical thinking is the way of solving the problem. How and why such happened. So in such, critical thinking will help you in your studies, in making decisions, solving problems, passing judgment, ensuring maximum utilization of resources. It will also help you to be inquisitive, insightful, and human. Hence, critical thinking is necessary. That is also an important skill. Then creative thinking. Creative. We have to be creative. We have seen that those who are creative, they have divergent thinking. Means they are able to solve problem in different way. They have different solutions of a single problem. Different ways of, they have ability of solving the problem in various ways. So only those are creative. So fluency, flexibility, originality, elaboration are the main characters of creativity. The characters of fluency involves many ideas. Flexibility involves the ability to shift perspective easily. So creativity, to somebody is quite able to write good poem, create a new thing. Science, if a science student, he can prepare a good project. When science exhibitions are conducted, then some science students, they may also prepare good projects. So that project is prepared basing on their own originality. own thinking. Then decision making. This is another very critical skill. Decision making. How should we take decision? That happens that even if some adults being mature, they fail to take decision. When they are in some problem situation, they fail to take decision. So there are steps in decision making, problem solving, problem finding, problem stating, option finding, decision making. So systematically, first of all, we should know our problem, then accordingly, we can take decision over the matter. Similarly, problem solving. Problem solving, that is also like decision making. We can solve problems that depends on the ability of the individual. So how far we can solve our own problem. And ସେଥିପାଇଁ there are different steps scientifically and very systematically. We have to solve the problem, find and frame the problem, develop a good problem solving strategies, then evaluate the solution, rethink and redefine problems and solution over time. So these last four life skills are a higher order of skill: critical thinking, creative thinking, decision making, and problem solving abilities. These come uh, under the higher order of cognitive skill, cognitive domain, higher order of thinking. So hence these are the different life skills which are quite necessary, and every student, adolescent learners must know these life skills, and teacher must also accordingly guide the learners how these life skills can be properly utilized. So accordingly, education, the teacher must create some opportunities so that they can these life skills must be properly utilized by the children during the life. Then the last unit, that is child rights and legislation. When we are talking of child, now we'll see what are the rights of a child. There are different rights of child: right to survival. It includes child's right for basic needs like food, shelter and medical treatment. Right to development, that is right. ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କର ଅଛି ଅଧିକାର that they will develop their skills, strength. They can enjoy their leisure time, get education, access information. That is their right. Right to participation. They also are similar right to express opinion, take part in different association as a member of society. Similar right to protection. It gives a guarantee for protecting child from all antisocial activities against child like child abuse, child labor, mental harassment, sexual harassment, like this. Then child rights within the framework of human rights. The challenges which we discussed are coming under the human rights. We should examine the child rights perspective in the cultural context with special reference to India. We have to see what are the different rights in cultural context. Right to parental care. That is also right. That is also the right of the children. The right to parental care. ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କର ଅଧିକାର ଅଛି ଯେ ପିଲା ଜନ୍ମ ହେଲା ପରେ ବାପା ମାଙ୍କର କର୍ତ୍ତବ୍ୟ ସେ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଠିକ ଭାବରେ ପ୍ରପରଲି କେୟାର ନେବେ। ଠିକ ଟ୍ରିଟମେଣ୍ଟ, ଇମୋସନାଲ, ଫିଜିକାଲ ଟ୍ରିଟମେଣ୍ଟ, ଏଜୁକେଶନାଲ, ସ୍ପିରିଚୁଆଲ ଟ୍ରିଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଠିକ ଭାବରେ ପାଇବେ, so that all those development will take place. So proper care by parents is the right of children. The right against economic exploitation. Raising voice against economic exploitation is also right of the child. That is that speaks the Article 32 of the Convention of Child Rights, accept the right of the child to be protected from economic exploitation, make them free from performing hazardous work, and also engaging work that affects their education are harmful to health, and also adversely affect their physical, mental, and other development. So, right against economic exploitation. Right to protection against sexual abuse and exploitation. They can, that is their right. They must be free from the sexual abuse and exploitation. So they must be protected. Society must give him protection against sexual abuse and exploitation. ତାଙ୍କୁ exploit କରିପାରିବାର ନାହିଁ, sexual exploitation କରିପାରିବ ନାହିଁ. Then the right of children to free and compulsory education. That everybody we know. This has been made child the children right of children to free and compulsory education Act 2009. ତେଣୁ ସେଠି ପ୍ରାଇମେରୀ ଏଜୁକେସନ କେମିତି ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଦିଆଯିବ, 1400 ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ every, that is the responsibility of the state, and all opportunity, education opportunity should be provided to children. ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ uniform, textbook, midday meal, transportation charges will be borne by the child. ସେଥିପାଇଁ the government will take step for this. That is in Article 21. Protection of child rights, role and contribution to important organization. So for protecting the child rights, we have different organizations who are taking care of protect the child rights. United Nations Convention of the Rights of the Child, UNCRC. In 1989, United Nations General Assembly, this convention was made. Then United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF. UNICEF is taking care and sanction different funds to different organizations for ensuring children development. So some of the issues named by UNICEF child protection programs are child labor, children in conflicts and emergencies, children and justice, children without parental care, sexual exploitation, violation and neglect. So these things should not happen in the case of child. The children will get proper justice. In different aspects will ensure development of children. That is the business of the UNICEF. Then World Health Organization, who also is there for development of the children, how the fundamental rights are kept secure, how and that organization works for the right standards of living and well-being of children and young people below 18 years all over the world. The World Health Organization ଆମର ଅଛି, policy making, planning करे, monitor करे, managing programs for the different programs for child and adults and health. ତେଣୁ ଭଲ ensuring good health, World Health Organization plays Good rule. The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, NCPCR, National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, was formed in March 2007. Different laws, policies, programs, administrative strategies are framed for child rights. The National Human Rights Commission अच्छी आम स्टेट रे सब स्टेट रे अच्छी the main functions of an HRC directly or indirectly inquire about the violation of human rights, interfere in the court proceeding related human rights, study make notification in the living condition of the people, those are remitted, lodged in jail. So in different way for solving different issues, Human Rights Commission is there. How human rights will kept protected. This commissioner will look into this. So these are the different child rights, and our teachers must see how the child, how the rights will be protected. So he must act as a second parent of a child. So he must see how the rights, how they will, that children will not feel rejected and dejected. So by love and affection, he will take care of the child, and then identify children who are victimized and abused. ଯେଉଁମାନେ ନେଗ୍ଲେକ୍ଟ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ କେସ୍ ବୁଝିବା କଥା, particularly those are disabled, ତାକୁ properly handle କରିବା କଥା. So again, try to engage in informal discussion with children so that they can express their feelings openly. So children must, teacher must show love towards the children, so that the children will feel free. The children, the teachers must go closer to the children. They will explore every child. They will try to understand the problems of every child, what is their feelings. So understanding is there. So teacher must try to understand every child, and he must proper care, love him, so that every child will feel free to express his inner problem, what guidance he wants. So in this way, the teacher has to be very careful, very caring, very sharing in this aspect, very loving, so that many problems, many issues can be properly handled, and different issues can be properly addressed in classroom in a very congenial way. So that depends solely on the mindset of the teacher. If a teacher is positive, if teacher has positive mind, then he will gladly accept as a challenge and solve different problems of the children gladly. So that depends on the attitude of the teacher and the ability, the way he can handle those issues effectively. With this, thank you all. Now we'll see the questions of the children, of the students. Sir, Sallah, with this I finish. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello. So now with this I finish this course. Now
Sir,
we'll go to question answer session. So what the question queries they have, now we'll see to it.
due to some technical problem, my chat box has been erased. So the students are requested to please write your questions in the chat box. so that we will take up the questions one after another. Sir, one student had asked what is the meaning of depiction. One student had asked the meaning of depiction. If you could kindly elaborate. Then there is another question about delinquency. There is another question about delinquency. Akshay Kumar Sahu is asking.
What, sir? Delinquency.
Delinquency. Dr. Sri Akshay Kumar Sahu is asking about delinquency. Explain delinquency.
Delinquency, that case is seen in case of the adolescent children, those who are above 18 years, that is delinquent children. Those who are below 18 years, we call them juvenile delinquency. So delinquency is a problem child when he is involved with different criminal activities. So antisocial behavior is seen in school, say under 18 years age, or adolescent learners. They are involved in different antisocial activities, in some criminal activities. So what situation prompted them to involve themselves in those activities, we have to see. But it is seen that due to some factors, they have been delinquent children. Maybe due to the family disturbances, some economic problem. So this problem, this type of behavior is seen among children, and as a result of which they become delinquent children. So delinquent children, normally we may call that the children, those who are involved in different criminal activities, antisocial activities, which are not accepted by, which are not approved by our society.
Delinquency is also a kind of maladjustment in case of children. Once the child is not able to adjust, once the child is not able to adjust, then he or she shows a different kind of behavior which is not socially acceptable. Yeah, this is normally seen by most of the teachers in the classroom situation. When the children they are showing unusual behavior which are not socially acceptable. Sir, there is a question by one second. There is a question by Snigdhamai Nayak. She is asking the difference between self-esteem and self-awareness.
Self-esteem means self-esteem influence our thinking and feeling process. How I know myself. That means if I am positive-minded, then positive attitude is seen is manifested in my behavior. So how I see myself, I think myself. So only if I have good self-esteem, positive self-esteem, then my thinking will be positive, my feeling will be positive. If I have a negative self-esteem, negative attitude will be exhibited by me. I will be lonely, I will be moody, aggressive here will be seen, I will be easily irritated. So how I think myself, so my thinking will be manifested in my personality, in my behavior.
Yes.
So as I see myself, so will be my behavior. Teno mu nijaku kemiti dekhuchi. How far I assess myself. That means how far I am aware of my abilities, my strength. ମୋର ମୁଁ ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ୍ ଗୀତ ଭଲ ଗାଇ ପାରୁନଥିବ, ମୋର ସେ ସ୍କିଲ୍ ନାହିଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ତଥାପି ମୁଁ ଗୀତ ଗାଉଥିଲି କିନ୍ତୁ ଲୋକମାନେ ହସୁଥିବେ, ମୋର ଠିକ ତାଳ ନଥିବ। ତେଣୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ I must be aware of my strength and weaknesses. If I have If I know, I am confident that I am good in drawing. If I am good in painting, so definitely ମୁଁ ଭଲ ଭାବରେ paint କରିପାରିବି, and I can take part in competition. So here self-esteem helps us to know, helps us to assess our abilities. Then
Okay, there is, yes, sir, yes, sir. If there is
yeah.
any, you can continue. Otherwise, there is another question.
So next is self-awareness. Self-awareness means how far I know, I am aware of my beliefs and values, my culture, my attitude. I know this is my culture. I know this is my behavioral pattern. I know this is the behavior of my social members, my fathers, mothers, and my group. So if I am aware, then accordingly I will modify my behavior. I will behave in this way so that others will accept me. This is a social awareness.
Another question is, sir, about critical thinking. Ashwini Behra is asking, what is critical thinking?
Uh, Critical thinking, that is when we apply for higher order of thinking, the more higher order of cognitive ability,
Yes.
we have to be critically analyze the events, the situation, the problems. We have to analyze different solutions. So critically, when we analyze about certain things, about a problem, then we can find accordingly the solutions. So we have to be very critical analyzer, critic. ଜଣେ critic ହେଲେ ସେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ସମାଧାନ କରିପାରିବ।
Virupaksha Panda, please mute your speaker. Virupaksha Panda, please mute your speaker. Okay.
sir.
Sir, there is another question. There is another question by Chittaranjan Mishra. He is asking, what is child trafficking? It is a very simple question.
Sir, ଟିକେ କହିଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ସେଟା।
Dear students, you see, you must be knowing, children are, diverted to various other, what should I say? They are diverted to other things. Normally, as per Government of India norm, every child should be given free and compulsory education up to 14 years. But there are children who are trafficked. They are taken away from their main work and they are put to different other work.
Compelled. They are compelled to do suppose labor.
Some children are engaged in the hotel. Some children are engaged in the industries. Some children are engaged in the motor garages. So these are all illegal things they are doing. So child trafficking is a phobia. It is a very bad thing in our society. It should be stopped. And whenever you see any child is abused, we should come to their rescue and give them some direction, some help, so that they will be properly given primary education at least.
They're actually protected.
Their rights should be protected. Exactly, child rights should be protected. There are so many agencies, even so many NGOs are working for the protection of child's right. So we can draw their attention. They will take them and give justice to this kind of things.
Nice, sir.
Then Snigdhamay Naik is yes, her question is answered. Her question is answered. Then another question is, as a teacher, how can we divert the emotion of a child? Give us examples. Dilip Kumar Behra is asking. As a teacher, how can we divert the emotion of a child? Give us some examples.
Suppose negative emotion, anger. Easily, କେତେଜଣ ପିଲା sir irritated ହେଇଯାଉଛି. It is seen that some children are easily irritated. They are outburst with anger. So how can we control, how he can control his anger. Suppose he has hatredness towards others. So particularly so far as anger is concerned, we can, I mean, through yoga, pranayam, we can control meditation, we can control anger, then concentration and ଆଣିପାରିବା ସେଥିପାଇଁ physical education ଦରକାର ବା relate ସେଇ story adverse effect of anger, a story may be narrated before them. Those who are anger, they can control that this is the ill effect of anger or being aggressive. So very prominent or very effective aspect of controlling anger or negative emotion is physical or yoga, practice of yoga, pranayama. That is the tremendous effect which everybody need to adhere to this. टीचर माने से आम पिला इन्फ्लुएंस करिया कथा आम से माध्यम आम तो अबे जोग प्रैक्टिस करा इन्फ्लुएंस इम्पोर्टेंस दि जाउछि प्रत्येक स्कूल रे से अलग स्टोरी कहीकि वी मे डाइवर्ट द चिल्ड्रेन towards this.
There is a question by Surya Lakshmi. She is asking about the ways of coping with stress. No doubt, teachers are stressed sometimes because of work pressure, because of family pressure. Some sort of stress is always there in the minds of the teachers. So, how do you cope up with the stress of the teachers?
Stress तो रहिबो तेणु सब बड़े जब स्ट्रेस रहिले ता भितरे आमको जल्दी टिके हैप्पी खुशी होगा पड़िबो से अन्य मानको हाथ रे मिसिया पड़िबो सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर मध्य दरकार एवं पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट मध्य सेति पई हवा दरकार तेणु टेंशन तो सबुथिरे रहिबो प्रेशर आसीबो तेणु से प्रेशर को आमे ताकू केमिति पॉजिटिव रे नबा आमे ताकू चैलेंजिंग प्रेशर
actually sir in psychology there are two kinds of stressors. One kind is a positive stressor and the other kind is a negative stressor. So we should try to avoid negative kind of stressors. We should cope up with the negative stressors. Positive stressors are always useful. They are a kind of reinforcement for us. They are a kind of a compelling force which can direct us towards doing some good things. So positive stressors are always good for the teachers. But for negative stress, we have to manage ourselves. We have to manage the stress. Otherwise, there will be, that different kind of behavior automatically come, like displaced anger, your irritation.
Irritation.
So for that, a teacher can engage himself or herself in listening to music, playing games. That means you have to divert your mind to some other things through which you can manage the stress.
Right.
So that technique one has to imbibe by herself or himself. Then another question is, sir, somebody is asking, Surya Lakshmi again, UNCRC, United Nations Child Rights Commission or something like UNCRC. Clarify UNCRC. If you know, if you can tell something about it, is all right. Otherwise, the learner can find out this particular term in the study material also.
Yes. So there is a study material achi. United Nations UNCRC, United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child.
Rights of the United Nations Convention on
Rights of the Child.
Okay. So these our learners can read from the book.
That's self-learning materials.
The recommendations of this particular commission is elaborated there in the study material.
That is self-explanatory, sir. They can go through the book and understand about different concepts.
Then Subhasmita Sahu is asking how much time is taken normally to change or reduce the negative quality like anger and aggressiveness of a child.
How much time?
It's very difficult.
Anyway, we have to give some time for this. How his anger can be uh, diverted towards other aspect. Uh, so we cannot avoid, but we should be very much careful how his anger will be minimized or will be diverted in other way, in positive way. We have to see. That depends on the teacher.
Actually, the teacher is supposed to be a good changer of negative attitude into positive attitude.
Sir, in
Because
this way we call teacher is a good transformer.
transformer, exactly. The
Trans,
teacher is supposed to be a good transformer.
transformation. Sir, ठीक है तो बस.
Yes. And there are so many techniques which are normally
Uh,
adopted by the teachers in the classroom situation. There are various sets of students who are coming to the classroom. Somebody is coming with a happy face, somebody is
mm-hmm.
coming with an angry face, somebody is coming with something.
Very sad.
So you have to deal with every one of them, and with your experience, with your quality, with different techniques, you can change their mindset and divert them towards your teaching. So this kind of attitude, this kind of quality a teacher must have.
Identify those types of children.
Sir, Virupaksha Panda is asking he's asking about peer culture. What is peer culture?
Peer culture means the peer group. They have their own society.
Exactly.
Peer group, they
Yes.
have their own society. That means the groups members, they have thinking, similar thinking, their attitude. Um, they might have good culture. They're in the culture. They might have good. Sometimes they, if they are cliques or say not in good group, their attitude is not good. So they must be involved in different delinquent activities. They will appear delinquent children. So the culture, their behavior mostly depends by the group members. So their culture is confined to that group if they're in negative way. So they cannot be out of the culture from which they are born. They have to
Yes.
apply the culture from which they are born, but sometimes that the reverse is also possible. They may not accept the behavior. They may go against the society. Them are involved in different antisocial behavior. That is also sin. So that is
Yes.
we may call peer group culture.
Yes. No, actually, in teaching and learning situation, peer group formation is essential. You see,
Uh,
normally, uh, in the classroom, suppose some student has not been able to attend the class due to some reason. If he has contact with a peer group member, he can get the same thing from his peer group member. So
Sir,
many
sir,
communications can be, will never be missed if you have formed a peer group. So
sir,
peer,
another thing, sir, I am telling, sir, peer learning has been proved more effective. Peer
mm,
teaching, peer learning, and the slow learners, those are poor learners, they are more benefited out of this because
yes, yes,
sometimes the problems they are not free to ask the problems before the teachers, but that same child will feel free to ask questions to the peer members.
yes, yes, yes,
Uh, so it is seen that peer group teaching, peer group learning has been found effective. ଆମର ସାର୍
very effective.
କନଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଆପ୍ରୋଚ୍ କୁ ସେୟା ତ କହୁଛି ଆପଣ ପିଓର କୋଲାବରେଟିଭ ୱେରେ ଆମେ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଲର୍ନିଂ ଶିଖୁଛୁ।
And that too, if 5 minds attack a particular problem, automatically the problem will be resolved. So interaction, cooperation, conversation, all these things will take place in the peer group, and all the issues, all the problems of any member of the peer group, can be solved in the peer group itself. So it is very good on the part of every learner to form a peer group. And as a teacher of B.Ed, it will be your duty when you will go back to your classroom for teaching. We have to insist your learners to form peer group. If there will be 40 students in a class, at least 6-7 peer groups must be formed, so that let the students solve their own problem by themselves before the problem comes to the teacher. So that kind of a approach we must have to adopt. Sir, another student is asking about sympathy and empathy. Sympathy.
Sir, empathy I କହୁଛି empathy ହେଲା we are seeing others in our own eyes. If someone got angry, so what situation prompted or compelled him to show his anger? I have to see, I have to analyze his context. That's that situation. ମୁଁ ସେଇ କଣ୍ଟେକ୍ସଟ ଥିଲେ କ'ଣ ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା, ମୁଁ କ'ଣ ରାଗିଥାନ୍ତି କି, ସେ କାହିଁକି ରାଗିଲା, ରାଗିବାଟା ଠିକ ଅଛି ଭୁଲ ଅଛି. So I have to see his justification of anger. So that is, I have to understand him. Remaining myself in that position. Another. So ତେଣୁ ଜଣଙ୍କର ଇମୋସନ କୁ ମୁଁ ବୁଝିବା ଦରକାର, ସେ କାହିଁକି, ମୁଁ ଯଦି ସେଇ କଣ୍ଟେକ୍ସରେ ଥାନ୍ତି. So finding him in my own eye, on my own mind or situation. It is empathy. Empathy, that is we are trying good kindness towards others. Those who are depressed, I have to see the same feeling. Samabhavana.
Yeah, it is the kind of feeling the way the others feel.
Others feel.
Exactly.
ସମଭାବନା ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ଆମେ ଯାହା କହିବା ଏକ ପ୍ରକାର ଭାବନା କହିବା କଥା.
Yes.
ସମବେଦନା ଦେଖିବା କଥା. If someone is ଅସୁବିଧାରେ ଅଛି, ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା କଥା. Depressed situation, poor, we have to see him sympathy. Poverty, we have to show sympathetic attitude towards poverty. ଯୋଉମାନେ ଗରିବ ପିଲା, low social status ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି, slum area, ଆମେ ଆମର ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ sympathy ରହିବା କଥା. ଯୋଉମାନେ deprived section ପିଲା, ସେମାନଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟ sympathy ରହିବା କଥା.
ଏଠି sir ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ question ଅଛି. Little Samal is asking, what will be the role of the teacher in case of bullying?
Bullying, sir, aggressive behavior.
Aggressive behavior.
Aggressive behavior. କେତେ ଜଣ ଥାନ୍ତି those are very aggressive and ସେଇମାନଙ୍କୁ ସାଧାରଣତଃ bullying ବୋଲି କୁହାଯାଏ. They will be bullying others. ସେମାନଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ରାଗୁଥିବେ ସବୁବେଳେ. ତେଣୁ ଯୋଉମାନେ ରାଗୁଥିବେ ସେମାନେ ଭାରି they will be thinking, ତେଣୁ ଯେମିତି ଯୋଉମାନେ bullying କରିବେ ସେମାନେ ଟିକେ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରଙ୍ଗ ବା ଡୋମିନେଣ୍ଟ ଥାନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ, ଏବଂ ଯୋଉମାନେ ବୁଲ୍ଡ ହେବେ ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ୱିକ୍ ରହୁଥିବ. ସେମାନେ ନିଜେ ଥିବେ, ସେତେ ଆଉଟସ୍ପୋକନ୍ ନୁହେଁ, କହିପାରୁନଥିବେ, ଭେରି କାମ୍ ରିଜର୍ଭ ରହୁଛନ୍ତି. ଏତେ ଏକ୍ସେସିଭ ବୁଲିଂ ହୁଏ ଯୋଉମାନେ ସେମାନେ ସୁଇସାଇଡ ବି କରିଦିଅନ୍ତି, ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟ କରିପାରନ୍ତିନି ବା ସେମାନେ ଆଡଜଷ୍ଟ କରିପାରନ୍ତିନି ସେଥିରେ। ତେଣୁ ଅଲ୍ଟିମେଟଲି ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ହେଜ୍ ଭେରି ନେଗେଟିଭ୍ ଇମ୍ପାକ୍ଟ, ଭେରି ବ୍ୟାଡ୍ ଇମ୍ପାକ୍ଟ ଅନ୍ ଫାଦର୍ସ। ତେଣୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ବୁଲିଂ କରିବା କଥା ନୁହଁ। ଯୋଉ ପିଲା ଏଗ୍ରେସିଭ୍ ଜଣକୁ ଗାଳି ଦଉଛି, ରାଗୁଛି ତାଙ୍କ ଉପରେ, ରିପିଟେଡ୍ ଆଗ୍ରେସିଭ୍, ସବୁଦିନ ବା ସେଇ ଯାହା ତାକୁ ଦେଖିଲା ମାନେ ହି ୱିଲ୍ ବି ଆଉଟବର୍ଷ୍ଟ
Yes.
ୱିଥ୍ ଆଙ୍ଗର।
I mean, the best way to deal with this kind of children is to engage them in some activity. Once their mind is diverted towards certain activities, then the degree of bullying will be reduced to some extent. If not fully, at least to some extent, the degree of bullying will be reduced, and time will come. The particular student, a particular child, will be completely changed. So it all depends on how effectively you deal with that kind of child as a teacher, because there is absolutely no straight jacketed theory or any
Yes,
formula to change the mentality or change the attitude of
this
the
type of
student.
peculiar problem.
Exactly, peculiar problem. So as such, as a teacher, the teacher has to innovate things. The teacher has to innovate things and adopt that particular approach in order to change the mindset, in order to divert their naughty characteristics or these bullying characteristics,
Aggressive
and
behavior.
try to reduce them in whatever way it is possible. Then only the teaching will be effective in the school.
Yes.
Sir, there is the last question. Last question is, peer group teaching is effective, but there are naughty children in a group. Will it affect the teaching? The question is something wrong. But anyway, naturally, no, the teaching will be affected if the children will be naughty or if they show naughty characteristics. Then the teaching of the teacher will be affected. But then it is the duty of the teacher to see, how to reduce that particular problem. So these are problem children. These are problem children. So how to reduce this kind of problem in the classroom situation? It is the duty of the teacher to see. So if you want to add, if you want to speak something on that.
ठीक है सर। से जो पिला देखले आमे नटी बा से टिके वेवार्ड होची से ग्रुप रे मिसुनी आमे पेयर लाइन रे देखिबा। तो जो पिला ग्रुप रे मिसु नाही ताकू ग्रुप रे आमे ग्रुप रे आ पिलान को इंस्ट्रक्शन दबा से जो ग्रुप रे रहूची विभिन्न काम ताकू असाइन कर दबा।
Yes, activity
एई टॉपिक पढ़िया पाई एई जिंस दरकार। तेणु ताकू एई असाइन दिया गला, ताकू ए असाइन दिया गला। सो वेरी माने शॉर्टली कौन कौन लिखिक दिया बा कर दिया सॉल्यूशन। तेणु असाइन ताकू कया दरकार। देने जदि से न करि परियो से निहाती फील हरास्ड, से आसाम बा सेम फील करिवो। तेणु सेति पई एई वे रे आमे माने पॉजिटिव वे रे आमे ताकू वी कैन रिजॉल्व दिस इशू।
So yeah, still questions are coming in. If you continue like this, we will not be able to stop the class. Anyway, let us
question answer session very good, sir. Well, like
yeah, some little Samal is asking how to develop life skill and moral value among naughty children.
मोराल स्टोरी कहिया को पड़ियो जोटा ताकर पर्सनालिटी ऊपर इन्फ्लुएंस पकेबो। आ सक्सेस हिस्ट्री केतडा सब कहिया पर जो मान सक्सेसफुल हेचंदी से मान का हिस्ट्री कहिया पड़ियो। तो लेकिन इनफॉर्मल अप्रोच द बेस्ट इफेक्टिव हो क्लासरूम रे स्कूल रे के भली भाव रे पिलान को भितरे नेगेटिव कैरेक्टर बा जिन डेवलप होवनी। So morally they will be strong and they will be in a position to differentiate right and wrong.
Yes. So sir, thank you very much for responding to so many questions from the students and presenting the topic, the last portion of BES-121 so nicely. And the participation from the students was also overwhelming. Students have participated actively and they have put forth so many questions. Yes. Students have also participated wholeheartedly. and you have also nicely presented the topic. Uh, and I would like to inform all the students that tomorrow we shall be talking to you about your BES 122. BES 122. We have invited another professor to talk to you on this particular subject. And as you have participated in BES 121 in the same way, you are also requested to participate. Please go through your study material, jot down important points, and come to the online classroom. And towards the end of the session, please put forth your issues or queries in the chat box so that we'll request our professor to respond to it. So with these few remarks, sir, I once again thank you very much for your cooperation and support to not only Indira Gandhi National Open University but also the students of BH.
हेलो
And
सर
Okay, sir.
सर
Hello, hello.
से पाणिग्राही ସାରଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଟିକେ କଥା ଥିଲା
ଏଠି
ସାର୍
ପାଣିଗ୍ରାହୀ ସାର୍ କେହି ନାହାନ୍ତି, ପାଣିଗ୍ରାହୀ ସାର୍ ଏଠି କେହି ନାହାନ୍ତି।
ସାର୍ ମୁଁ
Pani
ଜାଣି ହଉନି ସାର୍ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ କଥା ହେଇଥାନ୍ତି ଟିକେ ଆମ
ଏଠି ମୁଁ ଅଛି ଡକ୍ଟର ଏସ୍ କେ ତ୍ରିପାଠୀ, I am the regional director of ICO
ହଁ ସାର୍
and
ସାର୍ ଯୋଉ
principal of Balasore Training College.
ସାର୍
Okay, your counselor is our principal, Balasore Training College.
ସାର୍
Okay.
ଯୋଉ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ମଝିରେ ମଝିରେ ଡିସକନେକ୍ଟ ହେଇଯାଉଛୁ ଏନରୋଲମେଣ୍ଟ ନମ୍ବର ଆଉଥରେ ଦବାକୁ ପଡିବ ନା କିଛି ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ?
ନାଇଁ ଆପଣ କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ, ସେଟା କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ, ଆମେ ସବୁ ରେକର୍ଡ ହେଇକି ରହୁଛି, ଆପଣଙ୍କର
ହଁ
ଫେସ୍ ଏଭରିଥିଙ୍ଗ, your voice everything is recorded. Okay.
ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦେଇଦବୁ ଏନରୋଲମେଣ୍ଟରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଡିସକନେକ୍ଟ ହବ ଆଉ ଦବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ।
ଆଉ ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ, ସେ ସବୁ ଏଇଟା ସାଧାରଣ ଜିନିଷ ଗୁଡାକ, ଏଇଟା ଏଇ ଫୋରମରେ ଆପଣ ପଚାରନ୍ତୁ ନାହିଁ।
ସାର୍
ଏଇ
ସାର୍
ଫୋରମରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ଓରିଏଣ୍ଟେଡ ଯଦି କୌଣସି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି ସେସବୁ ପଚାରିଲେ ଡିସ୍କସନ ହେବ।
ସାର୍
ଆପଣଙ୍କର
ସାର୍
ଆଡମିନିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଟିଭ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ, ଆଡମିନିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଟିଭ ଇସ୍ୟୁଜ ଗୁଡାକ ଆପଣ ଇମେଲ ଜରିଆରେ ଆମ ସହିତ ଫୋନରେ ମଧ୍ୟ କଥା ହେଇପାରିବେ।
ସାର୍
ଓକେ, okay, thank you very much. Now it is already 4:30. So I wish I wish you all the best. And tomorrow we are meeting exactly at 2 p.m. the same with BS 122 with a new professor. Okay, thank you very much. We are ending the
Thanks both of
Thank
you,
you,
conference.
sir.
sir.
Thanks both of
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.